The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching dolly fishing.
Chopping up dolly fishes, dreaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly vision headlines, king of peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light. Chopping up dolly visions, dreaming real. True crime scene blast feels so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly vision headlines, king of peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light.
YouTube, where's the baby? Okay, where's the baby? That is the question. And who is responsible for these kids missing? You see the title, you know the routine. Go ahead, leave your DNA on that like button just in case you go missing in the hills of Tennessee and Dolly got to come find you. Don't worry, I'm going to be in these hills. I'm going to be in those hills and them hollers. Dolly leaves tomorrow, right? And if you're brand new here, make sure you ring that bell, sub up the channel, and feel free to share my ugly face, this one right here that you're looking at, on any social media platform that you choose. Of course, as long as it's not Pornhub. Don't share my shit on Pornhub, okay? Don't do it, okay? So anyway, tonight we're talking about the search for Sebastian Rogers, Summer Wells, and Leilani Simon. You remember that lady, right? Savannah, Georgia. Guilty on all 19 charges of murdering her baby, Quentin Simon. Some may remember the ghost of Quentin Simon when I was down there in Savannah. And it's been a minute since I have been in Savannah, Georgia. But tomorrow, I leave for first stop is Savannah. I can tell you guys that. I can't tell you my second and third stops, but I can let you know my first stop according to my producer. We will be in Savannah tomorrow evening. I will be there Thursday morning for the sentencing of Leilani Simon. Now, Leilani's still screaming that she's innocent. She's starting to write the news channels that's covering her case saying they have the wrong person. She didn't do it, people. According to her, she didn't do it. The real killer is still out there. The person that's responsible for killing Quentin Simon, according to Leilani, is still on the loose, and the police never investigated anybody else but her, according to Leilani's letter that she wrote to the news. She said she's being railroaded, that they're overlooking all the clues because they were fixated on her. Okay? Now, how crazy is that? You would think at this point, you know, you would take responsibility for what you've done. Now, you know, the type of drug she was on you know, a little bit of that Colombian bam bam, okay, and a little bit of smoking. I've never heard of anyone blacking out and not remembering what they did or what happened on those drugs. Okay. Now, I've never done the Colombian bam bam stuff, but I have that little smoking token midnight joking, right? And I haven't even done that in like 4 months. But I remember when I did, it never made me black out and not know what the hell I was doing. So she claims, remember in the whole thing, that if if she finds out that she was responsible, she would go turn herself in herself, right? The police didn't even have to arrest her. She would go down to the police station on her own. Well, now she kind of changed that tune and she's screaming that she's innocent, that she didn't do it, that they got the wrong person. We all know they got the right person. So Thursday, this Thursday right here, we finally get the justice for Quentin Simon that he rightfully deserves. Okay. It's been almost a little over 2 years now. October would have made 2 years. So it's been over 2 years, but sentencing day is this Thursday. And I'm looking so forward to the look on her face when they send her to prison for the rest of her life without the possibility of parole. Now, there's no death penalty on the table. I know a lot of us wish there was, right? We wish that DP was there, right? And I ain't talking about the DP that P. Diddy be doing. I'm talking about the death penalty, okay? We talking straight death penalty is off the table. And, you know, I've always been one of these people for capital punishment, eye for an eye kind of person. You take a life, you deserve to lose your life. So she's doing better already than I wish would happen, because she's going to be able to live her best life with a girlfriend in prison getting cornrows. Okay. Next time we see Leilani, she'll have a set of nice ass cornrows and a girlfriend named Betty. Okay. A girlfriend named Betty and some cornrows by the next time we see Leilani Simon, and she knows she's gone. Now, how many of you guys think that Billy Joe will be in the courtroom Thursday? Now, I was talking to PJ about it, the producer, and PJ thinks that Billy Joe will not be able to face what's coming for Leilani. So, what do you guys think? If y'all think Billy Joe will be in the courtroom, y'all press 1. If you think she won't be there, like this video and press 2. Okay, I just want to see what my people out here think. So, last night we went over a lot of the stuff in the Quentin Simon case, and all the stuff that's going down there in Tennessee with the search for Sebastian Rogers. Okay, a lot of people are saying too in the chat room that Billy Joe won't be there. Okay, she wasn't there for the trial. And, she was how she loved her daughter, blah, blah, blah. And Billy Joe is trying to get these kids back. I know that is crazy, right? She had custody of Quentin Simon when Quentin Simon lost his life. And now she wants the other 2 kids so she can not watch them. I don't, allegedly, okay, in my opinion. Let me give my warnings before we get too far into the night and I say something crazy. Dolly Vision's for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories, mixed with a little bit of comedy. So don't take nothing here as fact. It's just my opinion, people, and I'm a damn idiot, okay? Also, the callers tonight, their opinions are theirs and theirs alone, not to reflect on Dolly. Everyone is innocent and proven guilty in a court of law, except for Leilani, because she has already been found guilty of all 19 charges. And the biggest one of them all, don't try to be Dolly at home. Okay. I just stubbed my toe like 30 seconds ago and it hurts like a bitch, right? I got this dustpan. It's like one of the big ones. And I was walking out the room and caught my toe right on that damn dustpan. It's killing me. Okay. You don't want that. You don't need that. Keep all your fingers and toes. Okay. Inside the cart at all times. This is a dangerous ride. When you get on the Dolly train, you never know what could happen. So jump on that Blessed Express and let's take a ride tonight, okay? Anyway, so, I've just been kicking it around the YouTube streets a little bit today. Went outside. It was a beautiful day. And I heard some stuff about, possible sighting of Sebastian Rogers. And I was thinking, well, this is too good to be true. When you see titles like that, you already know off the rip that you about to be clickbaited, okay? And, every now and then, I'll nibble a little bit of clickbait. I nibble. Turtle Gang is the first on the train. All right, she's the first one on the Blessed Express. Get you a nice seat. Nina is jumping on the train with her. All right. Fueling up, right? We're gassing up the train. We're almost ready to go. We may blow this bitch off the tracks tonight. All right. We may blow it off the tracks. So, like I said, every now and then when they chum the waters of YouTube, is what I like to call it, when these people just throw out all these crazy clickbait titles, I'll nibble. And it was basically a radio dispatch of someone calling in a tip that they've seen Sebastian Rogers at a Motel 6 with two adults that shuffled this teenage kid into the room. Okay. So you hear the police call, and the police like, we got to call somebody. It's a sighting of Sebastian Rogers, and they sent the police there. And when the police get there, of course, guess what? It's not Sebastian Rogers. But that was enough clickbait, chum in the water, to make people click on it. I knew when I clicked on it, they didn't find Sebastian Rogers because it would be all over the news because this is a national case, right? So when you see these titles on YouTube that, Sebastian Rogers sighting, Stony Stone, what's going on? Good to see you. I was talking about you today, Stony Stone. It's crazy that you come into the room. I was talking about how I got into this true crime stuff and what led me down the rabbit hole of true crime today. And I said there was a guy named Stony Stone that came into my room when I was talking about Gabby Petito, and he told me about Summer Wells. I blame this all on you, Stony Stone, okay? All on you. I was on a different path in life, right? But Stony Stone planted that seed that changed a lot of what I was doing in my life. So you never know. Just a few words in this world can absolutely change your life. And when Stony Stone told me about Summer Wells, I really didn't think too much of it. But what he did was, like I said, he planted that seed. And somehow it must have rained, and that seed got watered, and that seed grew and grew. And look where we're at now, 3 years later. True Crime Channel, flying across the country, driving across the country, looking for missing people, helping families. And it was all because of Stony Stone said a few words, right? See, Stony Stone, you can change somebody's life without even knowing it, okay? Without even knowing it, not even meaning to. He told me, he said, Dolly, this is the craziest story you will ever hear. And I was sitting here bored one night, and I was like, let me check out what he was talking about. And I completely fell into a rabbit hole that was a portal from the Terminator 3, okay? I landed on 110 Ben Hill Road at Summer Wells' house. It made me really think, when you hear a sad story, you think to yourself, thank you. Somebody said, nice shirt. Terrifier, okay? The best slasher film out. Terrifier 4 will be out in 2026. I love a good gore movie, okay? Blood, guts everywhere. Some of my favorites, right? Stony Stone said, what did Stoney just say? I just missed your comment, Stoney. Hold on. Let me go back. I told you not to. It's not just a big swirl. So anyway, I got sucked into a portal, and I ended up on 110 Ben Hill Road. But what it was when I heard the story, it just like the Sebastian story, it'll break your heart, right? It's one of those sad stories. This little girl, she didn't really stand a chance. She's from the hollers of Tennessee. She just vanishes like Sebastian. No sightings, no leads, no clues, no nothing. And then you kind of see it. And she comes from a pretty dysfunctional family. I wouldn't say poor, but I'd just say that they had money, but they were too busy spending that money on alcohol and drugs. And these kids wasn't being well taken care of. It's one of those things that just broke my heart. And I thought to myself that day, what could I do to help? Okay. What can one person really do? Can one person really make a difference? Right. And then I just got into going out there looking, and that started it. That's all it took to start my mission. It grew into a YouTube channel that right now has almost 60,000 subscribers. It's had me all over the United States, from Idaho to Tennessee to Virginia. It's everywhere, right? I've been everywhere doing stuff in this true crime stuff now, and it's all because of that little moment in time that Stoney came into the chat. Don't say nothing else. I ain't reading nothing else you say, Stoney. Because see, now I'm trapped in this true crime stuff, and right now, 3 years later, I'm heading back out to look for Summer Wells. I'm going to be looking for Sebastian Rogers. This will be, I forgot, I done lost count how many times I done been down to Tennessee looking for Summer Wells. But I believe this is my 4th time looking for one, two. It's either my 3rd or 4th time. I think it's my 4th time looking for Sebastian. Connie is jumping on the train. Good evening, Dolly and chat. Hey, Connie, good to see you. Get on the Blessed Express, the best train in the business. The best train in the business. So before I get too sidetracked, let me get back into the Sebastian Rogers stuff. So, like I said, they chummed the waters pretty good today. Some of these YouTubers are pretty good at baiting you in. You like just a little fish swimming around in the ocean like Dory. And then there's that hook, right? And it had Sebastian Rogers on it, sighting. And I'm thinking, okay, they got me. Let me bite the hook. So, but before they could reel me all the way in, I jumped off. Okay. I was like a sea bass. I just spit that shit out. Was like, all right, exit. Right. Because I pretty much knew, because as soon as they find this boy or they recover his body, one or the other, trigger warning, it's going to be all over the news. I doubt you truly hear about it first on YouTube, unless a YouTuber is the one that finds little Sebastian Rogers. Now, like I said, I can't give every detail of me being down there, where I'm at, what days I'm going to be there. But just know that I haven't given up on this kid. I haven't given up on Summer Wells in 3 years. Sebastian Rogers has only been 8 months, going on 9 months. He has a birthday coming up. This young man will turn 16 years old. I don't know why I keep calling him little. He's probably bigger than me, okay? He weighed in at about 130. I'm a little heavier than that. But he may be taller than me. I'm not quite sure how tall Sebastian Rogers is. Does anybody actually know in here how tall he is? I mean, he seems, he when we see the pictures of him, they show a lot of pictures of when he was younger. They don't show a lot of the pictures of when he was 15, okay? Thank you for all you're doing, Dolly and PJ. Yes, and this time, I will have PJ with me. Okay. Well, PJ's already been to Tennessee with me in Hawkins County. I keep calling it Hawkinsville because it's in the middle of Ville land. Okay. Everything else is a Ville, Hendersonville, Clarksville, everything's a Ville, but it's just Hawkins County. Right. So I'll be back down there, Kingsport, Tennessee, basically. All right. But I always, for some reason, want to call it Hawkinsville. It is what it is. But, PJ's already been down there looking. And believe it or not, every time I go to Kingsport, it's either 1,000,000 degrees, right? So hot that you will just die. Or it's some kind of crazy storm. I went down there one time with me and PJ went, and there was a big, huge snowstorm. The next time I went, it was a tornado. And was it the second time I went? It was a tornado because I was driving that little tiny clown car, okay, that the rental company gave me. And it was like a Chevy Spark, okay. Thank you, Lady for Justice. And that bitch was blowing all over the road. Like, whoo. I thought I was going to land in Kansas, right? Rogersville, Tennessee, Hawkins County. Like I said, it's all a Ville. It's all damn in the middle of Ville land, where there's nothing ever but, meth labs and moonshine stills. Okay, that's what you got to worry about when you walk onto people's properties when you're in Tennessee. I know there's a certain bounty hunter out there that's talking about kicking in doors and taking no prisoners like John Rambo. Okay, but I don't know if you really can get away with quite that down south where everybody's armed to the hilt like the end of the world and the zombie apocalypse is coming. Mama Fee just jumped on the Dolly train. Okay. The Blessed Express. Happy Tuesday, Dolly, PJ. Love all my turtle family. Well, PJ had to hit the bed. We got a really busy day tomorrow. PJ got to pick up the rental. We got a busy day. So I told PJ to go ahead and hit the bed. That's why she's not here with me. I still got things to finish packing, all my gear, laptop, cameras, tripods, selfie sticks, clothes, and I'm doing laundry right now. So I'm trying to multitask, Dolly multitasking right tonight. So we're going to be on the hunt for sure. I will videotape some of it, but I will not be doing the hunting live. I will be live in Savannah for the outside the court, but I don't want people showing up in these different places that I'm in Tennessee, because there's a lot of, conflict and drama and people going to jail, people getting sued, and all that stuff going on. Thank you, Nina. Get on the train, hop aboard. Come on. We got room for you. We always got room. Jax, Google says he's 5'5", 120 pounds. Hi, Dolly. Chilling at the Dolly bar. Old Tennessee whiskey shots tonight. Okay, that old Tennessee whiskey, boy, you can't go wrong with that moonshine in Tennessee. Last time I went to Tennessee, that it wasn't for searching. I went to, it's been a few years. I went on vacation and went to Tennessee, stayed up in a cabin, and hit all the moonshine distilleries. All right, I don't drink much, but I was drinking that day. And let me tell you, they got some strong moonshine in Tennessee. That stuff will burn a hole right. That's why they call it white lightning, right? Because it'll burn a hole right through you. So anyway, I want to do a little review of this video from a channel called Police Off the Cuff, right? It's a New York police officer, been a veteran for 27 years. And we're just going to go over his take of who he thinks is responsible. Country girl Ann just dropped a big 2021 twin, okay? She is sitting VIP up in the train like a boss, okay? Like a boss. Stony Stone has become a member, all right? I believe Stony Stone is one of the founding fathers of this channel, so it's good to have you there, Stony Stone. R.O. Damn, R.O. with the $49.99. R.O. is driving the train tonight, all right? You up in the engine block, all right? Standing beside Dolly tonight. Thank you so much for your support. That absolutely rocks. All you guys do. Thank you for keeping me alive and making sure these lights stay on and this internet bill's paid. I couldn't do it without you, literally. You know what I'm saying? I'd be at work, right? I'd be at work and I wouldn't have time to do what we do any other way. And thank you so much, Nina. Okay. Nina's always throwing a little bit of gas in the train, right? She's always, throwing some wood and coal on the fire. You're awesome. Big virtual hugs, everybody. If you're just tuning in, make sure, if you can't donate, not a big deal. All I ever ask to anybody is just to leave your DNA on that like button. It helps new people find a channel, brings in new phone calls, brings in new opinions, new clues, new leads possibly. So it's important, especially to try to help bring some awareness to these missing people, that the algorithm picks up the videos and gets it out there so people, learn a little something about these people missing and all that good stuff. Now, let me share the screen with you guys. Make sure we're all the way up.
Who is behind Sebastian Rogers' disappearance? I'm retired NYPD Sergeant Bill Cannon.
Thank you.
A 27-year veteran of the NYPD.
Jax.
Welcome to Police Off the Cuff, Real Crime Stories. Absence of evidence is not evidence.
If someone starts following you, is he legal
as a
to
retired
record in public?
NYPD sergeant, this is one quote we've always lived by.
I will, Jax.
The absence of evidence is never the
spread love. Thank you so much.
It is, in fact, a sign to look deeper into the hidden crevices of a case. Today,
you hear that? I always said that lack of evidence or lack of something is a clue, right? Because usually there's no perfect crime, right? There's usually always a sign of something. And in this case we're dealing with, there's really nothing. The kid just vanished. And right there, Just like he said, that's a reason to look even deeper.
We look at the Sebastian Rogers case, a rather riveting case that looks deep into how,
Nina!
even with the tons of data surrounding us
Thank
today,
you.
we're still bound by the conventionalities of the physical world.
I just want my baby to be okay. I don't know where he's at.
Okay, you heard her. Does anybody believe her? That is the question. If you believe Katie, all right, press 1 in the chat. Now, if you don't believe Katie, like this video and press 2 in the chat. 1, you believe her. 2, you don't believe her. But make sure you hit that like button before you let me know. I have my suspicions. I definitely have my suspicions. Just like I think a lot of people here on YouTube do. Right now, I haven't even seen a 1. I don't think anybody truly believes her. Now, we got to keep an open mind that there is the possibility that this boy did or could have ran away. But I would say the majority of people online believe Katie knows more and she's not telling it.
Juvenile 1008 Stanford Court, 1008 Stanford Court, Hendersonville. Caller advised this morning they was having their 15-year-old male was not in the bed. We had a white male, 3 blonde hair, approximately 5 foot, 120 pounds. I was going to be wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants. Female does have a form of autism. This is the first time it happened. I was going to be in the home before midnight. All the doors are locked at this time.
Just blowing around.
That is the crazy thing. There was no sign of forced entry. The police searched that house 10 times. Sumner County saying there's no signs of foul play. Now, if, in the beginning, Seth said he believed, and this is coming from the father, and he said this on Nancy and that lie detector test he took. He believes that Sebastian was over-medicated, okay? Over-medicated. And he may have passed away. And you got to remember, he passed that lie detector test for Nancy. He took it with an FBI agent, highly respected FBI agent, and it came back that Seth was being truthful. So he truly believed that Katie over-medicated his child, right? Now, if you over-medicated a child, would there be signs of foul play? All right, because it's not going to be like if you stabbed them or if you shot them or if you did something to them. Medicine don't leave that type of evidence behind it if you OD on something, right? Maybe, sometimes people OD and they'll throw up or something like that, maybe some type of bodily fluid. But it appears that the Sumner County Police didn't find any of that. And people are like, in the comments, they're like, Dolly, why didn't they use luminol? Now, we don't know if they use luminol or not. I mean, the only people I think would know that are the people that own that house. And that would be Chris and Katie Proudfoot. But the head detective said they went in there, they searched the house, the attics, the crawl, everywhere through it, in the walls, and no signs of Sebastian Rogers. No signs of foul play. Now, like I said, if you was to OD, would there really be signs of foul play? Maybe not.
Sebastian Rogers, a 15-year-old autistic teenager, disappeared from his Hendersonville home in February. The circumstances regarding his disappearance were peculiar. His mom described him as a smart and clever teenager who wasn't prone to extreme actions, such as running away. She also remembered hearing a loud thud from his room at 10 p.m. on the night of February 25th.
Normal, he was playing in his room. When I told him to go to bed, he did. He said, "Good night, Mom. I love you."
Katie says she went to wake up Sebastian around 6 a.m. Monday for school, and he was gone. Within minutes, Katie says she was on the phone with Chris, who was working out of town, and they quickly called 911.
Now, here's my thing, guys, and some of you may agree with me, some of you may disagree with me. If my daughter was missing, I'm not calling the police first, okay? And I can use a prime example of this. My daughter called me. She works in retail, and she was working at a mall at the time. There was an active shooter in the mall that she worked at. They locked down the mall. My daughter calls me barricaded in the office of her store, and she tells me there's an active shooter in the store. Okay? So, I'm panicking. The first person I call is the police. I didn't call her mother. I didn't call her grandmother. I didn't call another family member. I called immediately to 911. The operator answered the phone, and she told me there is an active shooter in the mall. Okay? Not to panic. The police are actively trying to get up into the mall as that we were speaking on the phone. She told me to stay on the phone line with her, and they were going to walk me through the events that were happening, right? Because I was getting ready to jump in the car and run to the mall. This happened while I was live on the internet too, for some of you guys that were here that day. She called and said there was a shooter in the mall. I freaked out. I was panicking, but the 911 operator was real calm, and there was a back door to the store that my daughter worked at, and they sent the police up to the back door and made contact with my daughter while I was on the phone. And they were telling me, we're getting your daughter out of here now. You know what I'm saying? So my thought was, I didn't call somebody else. I didn't call her mama to let her mama know what was going on. I didn't. I called instantly to the police, to try to find, to get somebody to my daughter as quickly as possible. And, it's just so hard to believe that the first person she called was Chris. Chris is not even his daddy. Chris, from what the rumors on the internet, really wasn't too fond of Sebastian. Allegedly, we don't know if that's true. That's just a lot of things that were said on the internet. Karen's Corner, thank you. Surely the LE counted the pills, right? Maybe, Karen. That is an excellent question. Did they? We never heard nothing about that. We never heard from LE if all his medicine was accounted for. When, you could easily go, okay, when was this prescription picked up? How many is he supposed to take a day? How many's in the bottle? Right? And I guess that would determine if maybe the possibility of him being over medicated, thank you, Nina, is a possibility. Right? But in a time of crisis, I can't believe she didn't reach out to the police first. And not only that, she never calls the police. Chris calls the police with her on three-way, right? And to me, this is very suspect, because if they trace the call, they're going to trace Chris's phone and not her phone. And there's really no way to determine where Katie was at. Now, I ain't saying Katie did it. I'm just saying that there is some strange, suspicious activity that, to me, don't make a whole lot of sense. Jack says he was trusted by his dad to be home alone. More than likely, he wasn't a runner. Why would he run in the middle of the night to sneak out and run away in the middle of the night in the cold barefoot? Is very rare. And not only that, he had a great day with his mother that day. They went out bowling. They went out to BJ's, grocery shopping, had the colossal popcorn, and then they come back to the house. The trash is taken out. They go to Texas Roadhouse and have dinner. There's a lot of rumors going on the internet about Chris being there. And I can tell you guys this, the police are not super stupid. I ain't saying they ain't dumb, right? I'm just saying they ain't that damn stupid. You can believe that the police, because the police showed Seth the video of him leaving Texas Roadhouse. You can believe if Chris was in that Texas Roadhouse, he would be in custody, for lying to the police officers, but he ain't. So that just shows us right there that Chris was not in that Texas Roadhouse. And there's a lot of people still running this whole Chris was there thing, 4-day vacation. I know most of y'all have heard that, right? He had a 4-day vacation. I believe it to be easily determined between him working, him checking into work, him tag readers. A lot of people don't understand this, but when you go down major interstates, there's tag readers. They read the tags of every car. This is also how Leilani Simon, which we're going to go cover Thursday, her sentencing, was caught. She got caught on a tag reader. That's how they knew she was at the trailer park. That's how they went to the trailer park and they pulled the footage from the trailer park because she was caught on a tag reader. These tag readers right now are catching all kind of people and they're everywhere. Okay. You may not know you're driving past them because you're not wanted for anything. Right. But if you was a criminal driving past it and they're searching for these certain vehicles, as soon as they type in that number of the tag, it'll tell the police what tag readers that it has rode by. So, yes, the Falk database, right? Thank you. Right there. I didn't know the name of the database, but yes, these tag readers are legit, and multiple killers and murderers have been caught already because of these tag readers. So it ain't like you can just ride around and people not know where you're going these days. The police are sneaky. They're a little more sophisticated than people give them credit to. And if he was in that Texas Roadhouse, I'm pretty sure they would know. If he had a 4-day weekend, the police would know. You can believe that the FBI, TBI, has talked to Chris Proudfoot's work. So I truly believe that he was at work. Okay, he wasn't there. I'm more suspicious over that 3-hour phone call. Just because you ain't there don't mean you can't quarterback something. Okay, like you can get things done from a distance. Like I like to tell people, my reach is long. I got people all over the country. So if I need something done, I can reach out to somebody in Tennessee. I can reach out to somebody in Georgia. I can reach out to somebody in Florida, Alabama, you name a state. I got turtles there, right? So I can get stuff done from here. I don't even have to be there. So what if this 3-hour phone call was him coaching Katie into what to do? I ain't saying that's the case. I'm saying what if, right? That was always suspicious to me, is that 3-hour phone call, because most couples don't talk to each other for 3 hours. Now, some people in this room say, yeah, I talk to my husband for 3 hours at a time. Y'all weird. Okay. I'm just playing. I mean, I don't. Me and PJ, we've been a couple for 2 years now. We may talk 10, 15 minutes on the phone tops. And it's usually just, what are we having for dinner? Make sure you bring this home. When you get off work, I'll see you when you get here, kind of thing. So to me, the 3-hour phone call to me has always been a little bit of a clue. And there's no way to really look at their, go in and look at their phone calls to see if they had done this before, right? Had they been talking on the phone all the time for 3 hours, or is this just a brand new thing that they're doing now?
And he's not a runner. He's never run away before. I don't know why. I don't know why he walked out that door.
I mean, he's a good kid. He's not a mischievous child by any means.
Surprisingly, mom Katie Proudfoot and stepdad Chris Proudfoot didn't investigate the source of the disturbance. When they woke up next morning, it was all too late. Sebastian Rogers was not in his room the next morning. Now, Katie doesn't wait around. After checking everywhere she can think of, she knows something's wrong. She contacts the police right away. And
That's not true. She didn't contact the police. Chris contacted the police. And this is a police officer telling this story, 27-year-old veteran, NYPD. He contacted the police and she was on 3-way. And the police said they were sending a car, which she should have heard and she should have known. But still, Chris had to tell her, hey, go to the house. They're sending a police car. Well, why didn't she just start heading to the house anyway? She could hear what the police were saying.
Small town like Sumner County, Tennessee, the local police don't waste any time either. They understand the urgency, and before the morning's over, they've reached out to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. By that morning, an endangered child alert is issued. Reports from the next day suggest Sebastian was last seen in Hendersonville.
Yes. Now, Chris does have family there, sister, his mother, what is it, stepfather, Terry Bowersox. So, I mean, he does have family there. Is there some connection to that? Right now, there's nothing that directly points that way. But yes, if they're communicating and this was like, let's just say it was planned or something happened and then they had to cover it. I would like to see if Chris had contact with his family that night, right? But see, that's the phone records or the police looking into that type of thing. We don't know because Sumner County is being real hush hush about this, right? So who else did he talk to? I heard the house was sold already. The house that they live in? I don't know. I don't know if that's the case, Turtle Gang. You have to tell me where you heard that. I mean, you ain't got to pay me to tell me. Just let me know. Throw some stop signs up in the chat room. I haven't heard that the house is sold. It wouldn't surprise me. Thank you, Nina. Thank you, Nina.
Wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and his glasses. The community starts to mobilize. More than 200 searchers come out to help. You've got local residents, trained searchers, canine units, mounted officers, drones, and helicopters all combing the area, searching for any trace of Sebastian. On February 27th, the search takes a serious turn. Authorities escalate the alert to an Amber Alert. An Amber Alert isn't issued lightly. It means the investigators are worried that Sebastian may have been abducted, that he could be in immediate danger. They're working against the clock here, and they know every second counts. Detectives even play Sebastian's favorite song, Eye of the Tiger, over loudspeakers, hoping that maybe...
Big Bird says, Dolly, it's a rumor that circulated for a while. It's not true as of 2 weeks ago when I did a public record search. Okay, Big Bird. Yeah, I mean, we know they're in the same location. They haven't left. Now, I'm not quite sure. They did take off a little bit, but because, Chris, he's a crane operator, so he works multiple places. They don't just work in one location. He goes where the work is, and he lives in that RV, which was, at, what is it, Yogi Bear? He was staying at the Yogi Bear campground in Mississippi. So a lot of people believe that, that he may have took Sebastian to that area. And, to me, that's a little bit of a stretch. If you're going to commit a crime or something like that, especially if you've done something that consists of foul play and unaliving a child, you're not going to ride around too far with that child in your vehicle. I wouldn't think.
Just maybe it'll draw him out, give him a moment of comfort, or help him find his way. Imagine that. Using something as personal as a favorite song just to get a response. A sign that he's still out there. It's heartbreaking and a little desperate, but they're not giving up. Tennessee cops searching for missing autistic boy Sebastian Rogers blast Eye of the Tiger into the woods a week after he vanished from his bed. Sebastian Rogers, 15, left his family house with a flashlight on February 26. Tennessee state troopers used a drone to blast Eye of the Tiger to message.
Eye of the Tiger.
Authorities are also reaching out to the community, asking everyone to check their security cameras, their doorbell footage, anything that might...
Yes, there was definitely confirmation of Sebastian Rogers being at the Texas Roadhouse. We know that is factual. Don't play that. But look at the post I sent you before that.
Show where Sebastian went or who he was with. This isn't just the authorities anymore. It's the entire community joining forces, trying to piece together where the 15-year-old could have gone. But as the hours ticked by and the days stretched on, there was nothing. No footage, no sightings, just that image of a kid in a black sweatshirt and sweatpants. As the case moved further, police and researchers guessed towards the more sinister outcome of a nefarious crime. Authorities took the extraordinary step of draining a pond near the Rogers home, hoping to find any trace of him. But after hours of hard work, they came up empty-handed.
And the landfill search. And, to be truthful, we don't honestly know why they did this landfill search. There's been rumors, right? Only rumors that, that the trash can was heavy or something with the trash. But nobody really knows why they spent so much time searching this landfill. So in the beginning, just like this officer said right here, they believed something bad had happened. So, they're saying no signs of foul play. The parents have been cooperative, but at the same time, they're treating it like there was foul play.
Despite multiple tips and security footage, submissions from vigilant locals, nothing substantial surfaced.
If someone calls and says, hey, I think we saw him by the pond.
This is police. I think his channel is called Police Off the Cuff. Okay. And I just wanted to hear the opinion from another police officer outside of Henderson County to what they think. Okay. And his video is titled, Who's Hiding the Truth? Sebastian Rogers' Mysterious Disappearance.
We're going to the pond and checking.
For lack of a better term, we threw everything that we possibly could throw at this. I'll show you a picture of the map in just a moment. We absolutely obliterated covering the area where Sebastian could have won.
As if this case couldn't get any stranger, just a few days later, on March 7th, the police searched a landfill in White Plains, Kentucky. This wasn't based on a specific tip, but rather a precaution because this landfill received trash from the Rogers neighborhood. It's a grim and unsettling step, searching through the refuse from a community in hopes of finding any hint of a missing child.
So he just stated that it wasn't from a tip. They just did it because the trash gets delivered. But they would have to think something was up with that trash to even want to search the landfill. There's kids that go missing all the time, and the police don't go search a landfill. Okay. So something led them that way. Had to have.
Once again, though, it was a dead end.
Breaking news in the search for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office tells News 2 their investigators, assisted by Kentucky State Police, are searching the landfill in Kentucky where trash went from Sebastian's neighborhood. Kentucky State Police confirmed to News 2 investigators are still on the scene at the landfill in Hopkins County. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office says there is no specific information that indicates evidence related to the search for Sebastian may be there. The sheriff's office says it's an investigative precautionary measure.
Even the canine units.
See, I don't believe that. Okay. I try to believe what the police are saying, but I just don't believe that they just said, okay, let's just randomly go search this landfill as a precaution, right? Like, I just don't see that happening. But, you did just come off the back of, Leilani Simon throwing her baby away. Maybe maybe that's what made them, a lot of women have been throwing their kids in the dumpsters, but not usually 15-year-old kids. Usually it's babies that get thrown in the trash can, not 15-year-old kids. I mean, he's awful big to throw in the trash,
Often instrumental in tracing missing individuals, couldn't pick up a scent trail. It was like Sebastian had simply vanished without leaving any trace at all. These were critical days in the investigation. Each new search, each dead end only deepened the mystery.
That is true. It's just getting, even the mystery's even bigger now, almost 9 months later. And Nina, thank you so much. Nina is dropping $1.99. She's paying for a bunch of y'all to get on the train tonight. Okay. Nina is sitting first class on the Blessed Express. All right, Nina, thank you so much for all you do for the channel. You're awesome. We appreciate it.
For Sebastian's family and the Sumner County community, it left a lingering, unanswered question. If not here, then where? As is the case with most missing people cases, law enforcement scaled back to save budgets. Physical search efforts were dialed down around the 9th of March as police officials were asked to focus on the investigative side of the case. While local interest peaked, there were multiple questions asked over the absence of both parents.
I mean, you can only really search for so long, right? And put all that manpower that the police put out there without having some type of clue, right? And at this point, they had been searching for days and days with a lot of manpower. You got to remember these police, and you got to fuel those helicopters, and each place has a budget. The police department has a budget they have to work with. And, they've already spent millions of dollars searching for Sebastian Rogers. So when they scaled back this second search, I told everybody, I was like, look, this is the last search. They're only going to do these 2 searches, and then they're going to just pull back. And then if they get a tip, they'll go search that. But since that second search, just like I said, there hasn't been another search, not organized by the police, FBI, or TBI. We have YouTubers out there. We have intelligence agencies. We have Dog the Bounty Hunter. We got DOLLY. Okay. But far as like full scale organized searches, we really haven't seen that in a long time, which is sad. And I think a lot of that has to do with people can't come together, and they won't work together. And we're in this, people picking a side. Either you're on the Proudfoot side or you're on the Rogers side. And really, everybody should be on Sebastian Rogers, which is in the middle, right? That's the most important thing. Not the family drama that's going on, but this little boy that's missing. And with all the fighting between the family and YouTubers and creators and TikTok people and people on X and lawyers and people going to jail, Sebastian gets lost in the mix. And we don't need that, right? This is an important time because he's about to be 16. And that's an important time in a young man's life. That's like when you feel grown, 16, 18. Well, I would say 16 and 21 are the biggest birthdays for, a young man to have. Really important. So if we could find some answers by his birthday, or at least a clue that may lead us in a direction, would be great.
Katie and Chris, the stepdad, had not made a public appearance since Sebastian's death. One of the first things we see in a missing child's case is the parents coming out and leaving a statement. The emotional side of the statement can bring together community groups and strengthen the search. But this was found lacking here. Both Chris and Katie maintained silence through the first 10 days of Sebastian's absence. In fact, their first public appearance was recorded on the 4th of March. The two appeared sullen, but speculations were now gaining steam. On March 10th, Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers, spoke out, and you could hear the worry in his words. He didn't believe his son just wandered off. He had a firm belief that his ex-wife was to blame for the disappearance.
Not in the very beginning. In the very beginning, Seth he didn't want to believe it, that they were suspicious, right? He kind of was siding with them a little bit in the beginning, because what this dude has glossed over, their police off the cuff, is the first few days of the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, Seth was going over to the house every day. Him and Chris were searching together. See, if you leave pieces of the story out, it's like missing a piece of the puzzle. Him and Chris actually was going and searching homeless encampments together. So Chris in the beginning was searching, and he was searching right alongside Seth. They had a meeting, and in that meeting, they discussed GoFundMes, okay? And they didn't want Seth to make a GoFundMe, because then they thought people would think they've done something to this child for money, and they didn't want that. Seth's sister started the GoFund for him. Remember, for guys that watch my channel, Seth came up here, I interviewed Seth, and I had talked to Seth about that GoFundMe. That started the riff, okay? This is where the family broke apart, and this is kind of why we're at the point where we're at right now, okay? So he kind of left some things out for you guys, that they were working together. They were searching together. It ain't like, and then, you know, of course, they were coming out on YouTube channels. They gave an interview to Chronicles of Olivia. They were going on the news at first, and then the internet just, you know, I'm not trying to defend them. I'm just telling the story as it actually happened. The internet crushed them. You know, they were just straight up, you did it, come clean. You know, even me, right? They were super suspect in the beginning. And I think a lot of that, to be honest, shut them down. Okay. And, you know, some of the things they were doing was just super suspect, you know, packing up and leaving. Chris getting up here on the internet and making jokes and talking like he's from Sling Blade, Daffy Duck. And we can't leave all that stuff out because a missing kids case is like a puzzle. If you drop one of those pieces onto the floor, we can't put the puzzle together. You got to have every piece. Okay. And as a 27-year veteran of the police, he knows this, right? So just trying to make sure, if he didn't know, now you know.
That your wife allowed your son, Sebastian, your ex-wife, I should say, your ex-wife allowed Sebastian to be in a situation where he was molested and raped?
That's bad.
In California. And Chris in her apartment. They let a child who was 5 years older than my son play with my son and didn't bother to check on him there neither.
Sebastian wasn't that type of kid. He was cautious, and he wasn't a fan of going barefoot. Seth made a point to mention that detail.
The ants, the
something
fire
that
ants.
happened years ago that made Sebastian uncomfortable going without shoes. So the idea that he'd leave without them just didn't sit right with him. A few days later, on March 14, there was a new lead. A news outlet, WTBF, got a hold of some footage from outside the Proudfoot home. It showed lights moving around the yard around 3 a.m. the night Sebastian disappeared. Looked like flashlights. It raised questions. Who was outside at that hour?
What we know that the clock, the video, and this is coming from Seth, that the clock was stuck at 3:11. Okay. And a lot of people have still been, you know, going over this trash truck, because really this is all we have is this trash truck. And the clock was stuck at 3:11. Chris Proudfoot said it's a trash truck. Seth has said it's a trash truck, but now has kind of changed his story that it may not be a trash truck. Sumner County Police have said it's a trash truck. Me, I don't know. It appears to be some lights, but you know, there's things that are going on. Like I said last night, when you look at their house, the lights are moving from their house to the right. When the dog, whatever the dog tracked on, it went to the left, right? It never even tracked. The dog never tracked in that direction. So it's one of those things. Did he go to the retention pond? Was somebody waiting in a car? And at some point the dogs led to the construction site. Did he go to the construction site? So we hear Seth say that the dogs tracked to the construction site and then it just vanished. And he believes that Sebastian was put in a car, but the construction site is nowhere near where those lights were. So there's a lot of things in that's going on that kind of contradict itself.
Was it connected to Sebastian's disappearance, or was it just a coincidence?
The video you're about to see is from early Monday morning, February 26th, around 3:10 a.m. Now, there are no street lights in the Stafford Court neighborhood, so it is at night, pitch black. What you will see here are these 2 points of light believed to be people with flashlights in the area around Sebastian Rogers' Hendersonville home. It is believed Sebastian left his home barefoot and with a flashlight sometime overnight. Since his disappearance, authorities have reviewed security video from...
Okay, let me back this up just a hair. I want to show y'all something. Right there is the corner of their road. This is where you go break the corner, and they live down here off to the right. Okay. But the lights are technically seen behind this house right here. I don't know if y'all can see it right there. That very first house you see in the very right corner of the screen. I don't know if y'all can see my cursor. I doubt y'all can. I need to change the color of it so people can see it. But the lights are actually seen behind this house right here. Okay. And this is the corner that the trash truck would have been breaking. And what Seth told me was that Nick Barris filmed that off of the screen at the person's house with his cell phone. And the reason the lights are moving is because he's shaking his hand. He's moving. So it's making it appear that the lights are moving. But Seth said the police showed him the whole video and that the clock was stuck on 3:11 the whole time, the whole video, and that the time never changed, and that it was a trash truck. I'm just saying what he said.
Since his disappearance, authorities have reviewed security video from homes in the neighborhood looking for clues.
We have had several clips that have come in.
And this one is getting the most attention, showing signs of activity around Sebastian's home the night he disappeared. You see two light sources, which we've circled to help you follow. For point of reference, the security camera was pointed toward the back of Sebastian's home in a common area. In the video, you see subject 1 with a light source in the lower right-hand corner. Then you see subject 2 briefly appear and move toward the first before that light source is covered or obscured by bushes. Subject 1, a few seconds later, then moves out of frame. Then subject 2 reappears and follows subject 1 off screen. It's a short time later and it's very vague, but then you see one of the subjects moving quickly back through the common area, and that is it.
The next day, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation stepped in. They issued a statement saying there was no evidence of criminal activity and confirmed the family was cooperating.
We don't know exactly what time we don't know what time that video was shot. Okay, because the camera is broke. It says 3:11, but it wasn't shot at 3:11. People keep thinking this was 3 o'clock in the morning, and it may have been 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, we don't know. There's no way to tell because the video is stuck at 3:11, the whole video. So it could have been 6 o'clock. It could have been 6:30 right before the sun was coming up. We just don't have no way of knowing. You know, it's just no way to determine. And what did the person pick him up and run with him? Why is there only one person going back towards that area? You know, there's still, even if it is, we don't have anything else. Even if somebody was out there with a flashlight and grabbed them, we don't have a make and model of a vehicle. We don't have a suspect. So this clue is really, I hate to say it, a dead end clue. Unless there's more that comes out, we really have nothing but some lights.
Fully. They also put out a warning asking people not to share or speculate about footage online. The TBI knew that the wrong kind of public chatter could lead to misunderstandings and hurt the case. Then on March 21st, Seth Rogers took things into his own hands again. He received a tip, and it was enough to push him into organizing a search of Natchez Trace State Park, about 100 miles from Sumner County. He led the effort himself, hoping this lead would bring answers. But again, they found nothing. No sign of Sebastian. Just another dead end. For Seth, every failed search added to the weight of what he was already carrying. This was his son, and all he had were leads that went nowhere.
It's a
No
murder,
answers,
yeah.
no closure. Just the hope that somewhere, somehow, the next clue would finally tell him what happened. On March 23rd, the United Cajun Navy stepped in. They're a volunteer group known for their search and rescue work, often showing up for...
Listen. Now, we know what these people, anybody that watched what went down in Tennessee, you know these ain't good people. I had my run-in with the people from the Cajun Navy. They cussed me, threatened to call the police on me, called the police on JLR. Did they really want help? Or was they down there for clout? That's my question. All right. And I think most of you guys know the deal with the Raging Cajuns, right? Right. Most of you guys know. I'm not trying to shit talk anybody, but all these groups, right? And let me tell you, there's a bunch of Cajun navies. This ain't the only Cajun navy. There's legitimate ones. Okay. This is somebody that took that name and is not doing the best things with it. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. And you don't ask people to come search for help. And then when people show up, you cuss them out and threaten to call the police and act crazy. And you don't, it's hard. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible, guys. I wouldn't even have brought these people up.
Big cases like this. They just wrapped up the search for Riley Strain.
And they didn't find them. They were riding around it, have no clue. A guy at work found Riley Strain. They get no credit for that. Okay. They had nothing to do with the recovery of Riley Strain. Not one drop. And not only that, there was divers out there that were searching the water and they were claiming they were their boats. And it wasn't even the Raging Cajuns' boats. Okay. So they wasn't being legit. They were being dishonest, and they did this for clout, in my opinion.
A college kid who went missing in Nashville. His body had been found in the Cumberland River, but with that case closed, the United Cajun Navy turned their focus to Sebastian's disappearance. Their experience, resourceful, and most importantly, willing to go wherever they're needed.
Oh Lord, wherever there's money, wherever there's notoriety, right? I would say these dudes. I don't know if this police officer knows there's different Cajun navies. There is legitimate Cajun Navy. Okay. Not all the people using the Cajun Navy name are the real deal. There's some fakers out there. That's all I'm going to say.
But then on March 29, just days into their search for Sebastian, they pulled out. And the reason they gave? Threats.
No, but listen, they were the ones making the threats. They threatened me, okay? Me, right here. They threatened JLR. All right, so they were threatening people. They didn't want. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone, right? But yeah, they wasn't nobody threatening them. They were doing the threatening and acting a fool, short-tempered, foul-mouthed. They didn't seem like the people that would be out, you know, in my opinion, trying to find a kid.
Somebody had been making threats against their volunteers, enough to force them to step back from the case.
I believe they were exposed. And they knew they were catching hell on the internet, right? They were catching hell because listen, not only did I report what they were doing, but JLR reported what they were doing and other people reported what they were doing. And I think the majority of the people knew that we didn't come up here and lie about it, right? We didn't lie about what was happening to us down there because I went to volunteer to help. JLR went to volunteer to help. Trevor Lee went and volunteered to help. So there was a lot of people that are in the missing kids, missing people community that were there, and all of them tell you the same story. So who's being truthful? That's something you had to, answer for yourself.
Security concerns. The United Cajun Navy is temporarily calling off their search for Sebastian Rogers. Good evening.
They're these big tough dudes, right? But they're scared of a couple threats. Make that make sense, okay?
And welcome to News 2 now at 10.
And they said they were going to come with all these people and all this, and they didn't, right? They were out there asking for chairs. Remember that? When they asked for the chair, could you bring a chair? What, so you can sit down? You don't need a chair to search, all right? When I go searching, I don't never take a chair with me.
Dan, I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Wilkes. The nonprofit organization joined the search for the teen missing out of Hendersonville last weekend. But as News 2's Sarah Smith reports, the group says the search has now become too dangerous.
Hello.
The
Good to see you
volunteer
guys.
group United Cajun Navy reportedly getting death threats.
Let's see if we can get these likes up a little bit. And I don't know if anybody made death threats to them. I truly, seriously, in my opinion, doubt that they got any threats. They brought all these boats out there and parked them, right? They wasn't in the water. They wasn't doing what they said they were doing. And a lot of this was like, let's do news conferences. Let's do press conferences. It became about the Sebastian Rogers show instead of the Sebastian Rogers search. Okay. And we got over 1,000 people in the room. Let's see if we can hit 1,000 likes on this video. But see, even after they came out there and cussed me out, threatened to put me in jail, and I still continued to stay down there and I continued to search for that boy. I just didn't help their group. And then, you know, shortly after that, they packed up and left. They wasn't there, but what, a couple days, right? I was there in town longer than they were.
Threats for their efforts in finding Sebastian Rogers.
Now, this raises a big question. Who would want to threaten people trying to find a missing kid?
Nobody. They needed an excuse to get out of there. Save face. They were getting destroyed on the internet. People were making videos about how big of a joke they were, and they said, okay, let's get out of here before it gets any worse. AGM 88 jumping on the Dolly train. Bam, thank you. Board on up, get on. We had a little stop. We got to pick AGM 88 up. So doors opening, get on the train, buckle up. Yeah, like I can't even believe this guy is mentioning these people. Like I would have left him out the whole story. Like, did they do any good in this? Right? And you come in there and you feel with hope, right? We're going to help you find your kid. You know, we search for missing people. We know what we're doing. We have all the assets. And then you pack up and leave this man. All right. See you later, Steph. That's kind of what they did. It was horrible. I know this. If I go missing, I don't give a damn what circumstances it's under. You can send the real Cajun Navy for me, but never send these raging Cajuns for me. Never. I'd rather be lost, okay, than to have any of these fools right here involved with this particular group search for me. That's just my opinion.
It's not just a random prank. For the United Cajun Navy to take this seriously enough to suspend their efforts, these threats had to feel real. Even
I know you're in New York, bro, but trust me, I was there. There ain't nobody went up to any of those people threatening them that I was aware of. I was out there searching. Nobody came up threatening me. Okay. So why would there wasn't people out there threatening like that? The only people that threatened me was them. Okay. Only people threatening people out there were these people. And I'm one of the people they threatened. All right. So I know you're a cop. You could have interviewed me. You could have been like, hey, Dolly. And I'd have told you the only people out there being assholes were people affiliated with them.
Dangerous. Was it someone trying to keep them from discovering something?
Yeah,
or
I'm
was
sure
it
that's
just
the case.
an unhinged individual trying to stir fear and confusion? Either way, these weren't empty words. They had enough weight to stop an experienced search team in its tracks. It's unsettling. The Navy pulling out left a gap in the search, and it adds another layer to this mystery. Threats against the rescue team aren't typical in missing person cases. And it leaves us wondering if someone...
Let me ask you this. Was anybody hurt? Was there any confrontations where the police were called? Were there any police reports made of threats? Ask yourself that question. Okay. You're a police officer, they're officer off the cuff. Was there any of that done? Or was it, hey, we're catching shit over what we're doing. Let's pull out of here. And we'll say it's because we're being threatened. Has anybody got hurt out there searching? Right? Has there been any fights out there? Anything like that? There's all kind of there's Terry Lynn. She's been out there searching. Has she been threatened? Right. So it's a little Ginger. Thank you for gifting those memberships. Thank you. And if you got one from Ginger, make sure you give her a big virtual hug and thank her. And board up, Ginger. Get on the train with us. Welcome. Good to see you. So I say all this threatening stuff is bull crap. I can't be positive. That's just my opinion. I didn't see none of that going on when I was there. The only people I seen being assholes to people were, like I said, these people.
Out there knows more than they're saying, or worse, if someone has a reason to keep this case from ever being solved. This wasn't
the guy speaking is a 27-year veteran for the NYPD. Okay. I'm sure he just shot a video like anybody else, but he should have did a little research into how many organizations use that name, Cajun Navy, because it's easy to mix people up if you think there's just one Cajun Navy. But you can search right now. There's multiple Cajun Navies. Some of them are real legitimate and they really do what they say they're doing and they really get out there and help. And there's some people that use it as a way to get, I hate to say it, donations, to grift, but legally grift. And they're not genuine good people. He should have did a little more research into that. But I'm sure this wasn't a big deal to him. This is just part of the story. So he didn't really go deep down into it, but he's kind of, waving his flag for him like they're these great people when he don't really. I truly think this officer that's doing this, I think he's doing a good job on the story. He just don't really know what was happening there. Okay. He's going off of hearsay and what he's seen on the news. I'm going off of experience. Okay. I was there.
The only thing that happened on March 29th, on the same day, another development came up. Katie and Chris Proudfoot, Sebastian's mother and stepfather, left their Sumner County home, the very place where Sebastian was last seen. They confirmed the move on an appearance on Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace didn't hold back. She got right to it, asking them why they left while the search for their son was still ongoing.
Nancy don't play.
Katie and Chris responded directly. Chris said he needed to get back to work, and Katie added that she'd gone with him to Memphis. But Nancy pressed further, asking if they were worried about being away from home while the search was still active. Katie admitted she was, but she explained it in simple terms. My son should be anywhere, she said. My son could be anywhere. We're looking everywhere and anywhere. It's a tough call to make, leaving the home base during a search like this. Some might question it, but
some might question it, bro. Hey, bro. Everybody questioned it. Okay. I mean, everybody. There wasn't one soul that didn't question her leaving that house with her son missing and going to another state. Okay. Everybody and their mama and their cousin's mama, cousin's brother's best friend's mama, everybody questioned that shit.
Katie's reasoning was clear. She's not limiting the search to one place. She's looking for her son. Where it might take her.
We're going to go to Hawaii, okay, just in case he can swim. I mean, it don't make good sense. No, I ain't saying nobody would do it because she did it. I'm saying no normal parent, not me, not anybody I know with kids would have done something like that. It was definitely suspicious. Definitely.
These two developments on the same day, the Navy pulling out over threats and the Proudfoots leaving Sumner County, left a lot of people with questions. And they added even more complexity to a case that already seemed to have more unknowns than answers.
Ginger, thank you. She says, I love Dolly soap. The pumpkin cake is amazing. I know. Thank you for everybody that's been buying my soap, checking it out. And if you ain't, that's a good way to support Dolly. Dolly soaps, lotions, body washes. We got stuff on sale right now. Make great stocking stuffers. Okay. So make sure you check out buydollysoap.com. Right now, I think you can save 15% with the promo code Merry Christmas. We got pumpkin. We got Christmas wish, snowflake, and all my soap is handmade with all natural ingredients. The body washes are the best. Listen, check it out. Get you some. And I guarantee you will absolutely love it, or I guarantee you won't get your money back. Okay? It's a no money back guarantee. How about that? You know, all these other companies, they got money back guarantees. I got a no money back guarantee. Once you buy it, it's yours. Okay. It's like if you break it, you bought it policy. Once you buy it, it's yours. But I guarantee you this, you're going to love it. And nobody ever complains. You'll look in my chat room and you'll see people all the time going, Dolly, I absolutely love your soap. It's the best recipe ever made. And it was made by me right here in this laboratory. All right. So make sure you check it out. Show some support. Great way to support the channel and wash your ass cracks and your titty flaps.
April 2nd brought a small development in the search for Sebastian. Investigators announced they'd found a pair of glasses, but they couldn't confirm whether they were Sebastian's. It was just another lead that went nowhere.
I don't know who would send you soap back. Just ask them. I don't know. I've never received a bar of it back. Be like, Dolly, I didn't like this. You suck, right? Maybe one day that will happen. Okay. With like hair stuck to it, you know, I'll be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I got a no money back guarantee. All right. You buy it, I guarantee you I won't give you money back. Right? I got to pay that light bill. All right. But you will love it. You will love it. I promise you that.
And authorities took the chance to remind the public there was still no evidence pointing to criminal activity in his disappearance. Then, on April 17th, Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers, decided to take matters into his own hands.
Okay, here's a question. If you've used Dolly soap, lotions, or body wash, and you loved it, press 1 in the chat, okay? If you've used it, bought it, loved it, press 1 in the chat, okay? I want to show people how good my product is, all right? If you've used it, bought it, love it, press 1. If you bought it and it sucks, press 2. Just let me know. Be honest.
Hands. Frustrated with the lack of progress, he hired private investigators to help track down any new leads. He wasn't going to wait around. He wanted fresh eyes on the case, hoping they might see something that had been missed. A few weeks.
And we are selling stockings this year, right? We have stockings that are stuffed with lotions, body washes, soaps, the whole stocking. So make sure you check it out. It's on the merch store. Also, we got gift cards too. So if you want to gift one of your favorite chatters in here, you can actually purchase a gift card from our store too for soaps, lotions, body washes, t-shirts, hoodies, all that good stuff. Buy dollysoap.com. You see all them ones? I told you guys, guaranteed.
Later, on May 7th, there was a glimmer of hope. Investigators were looking into a possible sighting of a teen who looked like Sebastian in North Carolina. Seth had seen the photo himself and believed it could be his son. But soon after, that hope was dashed when investigators confirmed the boy in the photo wasn't Sebastian. Another lead gone cold, another letdown for a father who just wanted his son back. By May 21st, Seth Rogers had had enough. He publicly called on the FBI to take over the investigation. He didn't want this case to fall through the cracks, didn't want it to become just another cold case. Seth was adamant. He wanted the nation's top law enforcement agency on his son's case, pushing for answers that by now seemed further away than ever. Each step forward in this case seemed to be met with 2 steps back. For Seth Rogers, every dead end, every misidentified photo was another painful reminder of his son's absence. And as he pushed for the FBI's involvement, it was clear that he wouldn't stop until he had answers. By September, a new face joined the search for Sebastian Rogers. Dwayne Chapman, better known as Dog, the bounty hunter.
I'm the dog.
It had been months since
Big
Sebastian disappeared,
dog.
and the active
Dog,
search had
the
scaled back,
bounty
with
hunter.
law enforcement focusing more on the investigative side of things. But for Seth Rogers, Sebastian's biological father, giving up was never an option. When Chapman joined, he took immediate action. He raised the reward for any information leading to Sebastian from $50,000 to $100,000. But he didn't stop there. This week, he announced another increase, bringing the reward up to $175,000.
Baby says, Bubby said, I got 3 stockings. Awesome. Have you got them in the mail yet? Because I know PJ was working on stockings just the other night.
His team claims they've received valuable new information, including leads in Oregon and New York. These are serious tips.
Yes, we have cotton candy. I mean, we have a bunch of good stuff. You just have to go to the site and check it out.
And they're sparking new movement in a case that's been at a standstill for too long. Chapman's team is even looking to expand, planning to add more investigators by early next year. They're signaling they're in this for the long haul, committed to following every credible lead, no matter how far it takes them. For anyone who thinks they might know something, however small, there are multiple ways to reach out. Chapman has set up a dedicated tip line at 833
1-800-TBI-FIND. If you know anything, that is where you call, right? Like, if you want dog to go look for him, then yeah, you call dog. But you need to call Sumner County, the TBI, or the FBI. I would say that's where you give a credible lead to. Now, if you just want to help dog out, of course, call dog's hotline. But all leads need to go to 1-800-TBI-FIND. That is the official number for the TBI. It's the same one in the Summer Wells case. It's anything that does with Tennessee is 1-800-TBI-FIND. And I can't believe this guy didn't put that number out.
835-5364. You can also contact the Sumner County Sheriff's Office at 615-451-3838.
Thank God he did that.
The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation will even submit a tip online to the FBI. That's for missing person Sebastian Wayne Drake.
The official number, guys, you just like he's leaving things out. 1-800-TBI-FIND. All right. That is the official number. And when you see the billboards with Sebastian missing up there, it says 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Rogers. Chapman, Seth Rogers, and the entire investigative team are sending a message. They're not giving up on Sebastian. They're counting on someone out there to know something, to have seen something, and to finally help bring him home. Questions still remain of where Sebastian Rogers is right now. The world waits and watches as the search intensifies. For the dad, Seth Rogers, a lot of hopes are pinned on public interest not letting the case die. Did Sebastian Rogers walk away, or did he have an argument at home with his parents? Or was he abducted? These are all possible scenarios, and currently, we have no evidence to rule out even one. For now, Sebastian Rogers is a missing kid, and the world watches as all relevant stakeholders try their best to find a solution.
Okay. The channel we were just watching and listening to was Police Off the Cuff. Okay. Some of the things he said, I agree with. Some of the stuff, like you could have did a little bit better research on some parts of that, but all in all, a decent video. I give it 1 thumb. Okay. I can't give it 2 because there was some information left out, some information that wasn't really accurate. So I will give it, what's up, William? I'll give it 1 thumb. Okay. Well put together video, good editing, things like that. But as far as being 100 to the right information, that's why you only get 1 thumb. Like you should have definitely doing that 1-800-TBI-FIND. And, there was things about, in the very beginning, Seth and Chris were working together and, they were trying to find Sebastian in the beginning. So some of those pieces are important to know. Okay, we're going to open up the phone lines. I want to hear from you guys. What do y'all think happened to Sebastian Rogers? Is this foul play? Did this little boy run away? And basically the same thing in the Summer Wells case, because I'm going to be down there searching for Sebastian. I'm going to be down there searching for Summer Wells. I got to handle some stuff in Savannah. right? I got to do that first. So I'm going to be a little bit all over the place, you know, in the Carolinas, Georgia, Tennessee, all this week coming up. So you guys let me know. Let me open the phone lines real quick. Of course, the call-in numbers on the screen, 757-797-6694. And you know, the lead that came out about they thought he was at a hotel at a Motel 6 ended up not to be Sebastian Rogers. It was just another dud in this case, right? We've had a bunch of them. You know, people have gotten their hopes up, and still there's absolutely nothing in this case to go off of. No real solid clue. All we have is those lights, and that really hasn't led us anywhere. Okay. If it was somebody with flashlights behind that house, like a lot of people believe, we need more than that. Just seeing a couple flashlights ain't solving the problem or solving this crime. Okay. Family abduction, unfortunately, is what you think. You know, I don't know. You know, why though? What reasoning would they have to kidnap their own kid, so to say, or to hide their kid? What reason would they have? Because, you know, what he did leave out is Chris went to Seth and wanted Sebastian to go live with him. So they were trying, well, Katie wasn't on board with that, but Chris and Seth were. And Seth was in the process of enrolling Sebastian in the school, because in the beginning, a lot of people thought Sebastian was just going to go live with Seth for the summer, but that ain't the case. He was going to live with Seth permanently, and he was going to stay there that summer, and then Seth was going to enroll him in school. Okay. And then next thing you know, Sebastian vanishes. So I don't know. Did he have access? We know he didn't have very limited access at his mom's house with Chris on the internet, but at his father's house, he had a little more access to what was going on. So if you have a theory of what happened to Sebastian, definitely hit up the call-in number 757-797-6694. Dolly.
Dolly?
Yes.
This is Melanie.
Hey, Melanie, how's it going?
Oh, it's going good. How's it with you?
I'm doing fine. Not too bad. I got to get ready here in just a little bit, start packing my clothes up so I can leave when I wake up.
You going child searching again?
I'm going child searching again, Melanie. That's a good way to put it. Yes, I am.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm happy you're doing that.
Yeah, you know, I enjoy doing it. I enjoy getting out and, you know, hitting the road and doing what I can do to help.
Because I believe with all my heart that Summer Wells and Sebastian Rogers are unalived.
You know, statistically, it favors that, but we got to keep the hope alive, you know, and just hope for the best.
Yeah.
You know, and let's just pray they are out there somewhere.
Yeah, I don't understand that. It's been 3 years since Summer disappeared, and 8.5 months, almost 9 months since Sebastian disappeared. Why can't they find anything? I can't understand.
I don't know.
That.
It seems, Melanie, like when you go missing in Tennessee, that they never find you. I don't know. Everybody goes missing in Tennessee. It's like the Bermuda Triangle. You just never seen again.
Well, they spotted Riley straying in the river, so they found him.
Yes, I mean that was a worker that found him. That wasn't even really like a searcher. That the worker just stumbled across them, luckily, and thank God. Or we probably wouldn't have found him. I mean, a lot of people go missing in that river. The Cumberland River down there in Nashville, a lot of people fall into that river. So that river alone has claimed a lot of people, Melanie.
Yeah, and that's very sad, but I just don't get it. I just want somebody to say we have found several wills, or we have found Sebastian Rogers. That's all I want to hear now.
Yeah, I do too, Melanie. But look, you be good. You stay safe, and happy holidays to you, Melanie. I'll talk to you next time.
A happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas to you and PJ too, and say hey to Lolo and Wrangler, and y'all be praying for me, people who are listening right now, and I love y'all.
All right, you be good, Melanie. Peace. No, Melanie's not drinking. Be nice, guys. Some people here, she's unique. Okay, Melanie's one of our unique callers. So be respectful, be nice. And she's been calling, and she's a sweet woman, and she needs your prayers. You heard her. So instead of being mean, be nice. Say a little prayer for Melanie. She's a good person. All right, and she's not drinking. Melanie always sounds like that. Dolly.
I love her. I love how he defends her too.
Hello. Okay, that person hung up. Sorry, guys. Dolly.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
what's going on?
What's up, Stony Stone?
What's going on, my man?
We're
happening?
heading back on the hunt.
I see that, bro. Leilani, shame on her.
Yeah, well, first we're going to go, way by to Leilani, and then and then I'm kind of going on the hunt. I can't say exactly when and where, but I'm going to go look for that little girl you told me about years ago.
I hear you, brother. Hey, you know what? It hurts my heart. I got a thing that is on my wall from Dumpling. Sent it to me right after I got on her channel, and anybody that's in my house stares at that thing and sees it 500 times a day. That little girl's face. And it's like a little magnetic thing. You know what? People are gonna hate me for saying this. Somewhere else, some won't. I just want it to be over with.
I can agree with you on.
Bro.
I can agree that I want it over with too.
It's just a circus. One, good, bad, or the ugly. I mean, I really hope she's alive, but man, dude, the good, bad, it just needs to be done because it's just a circus show.
I mean, what's the odds after it being so many years? I mean, the chances are she's not with us, but there's that possibility.
You don't want to think that way, but it's so true, right?
Well, when I go searching in the woods, I'm not searching for a kid that's alive, Stony.
Right. Yeah, I get it. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to remind you of what I said a long time ago. When I first told you about this case and a few of the call-ins and a few of the conversations we had, just remember there's 3 wells on that property.
Yeah. I mean, I know.
There's 3 wells, and nobody's checked but one of them, maybe. There's 3 wells on that property, and how deep are they?
Well, the police have checked under the crawl spaces in the house, the wells, the septic.
They ain't checked them, bro.
I mean, I don't know how thoroughly they checked them.
Hey, we will check things a lot more thorough than them. You know how it is. They'll go on the property and they'll look around and be like, yeah, well, we looked over there, And it ain't like that. But we get our asses in trouble for being on their property searching. And when I talk to Don Wells as well, I talk to him too. I don't believe still to this day that he had a part in his daughter's disappearance, but I sure do think Hunter and Candace do. They know.
Yeah, I think he knows too. But I don't think she's on that hill. I don't think she's on that hill.
If she is, she's in that well, one of them wells.
I think if she was on that hill, they would have never let me up on that hill. And they did.
But you know what? They wouldn't expect you to be looking in their well either.
They didn't care where I looked. They were real open. They had the sheds open and everything.
Open it up and jump down in there. You think about it. If you're going to put somebody in a well,
I mean, they didn't.
It's going to be weighted.
They didn't watch me the whole time I was out there.
I get it, bro.
That's what made me think she's not on the hill.
Well,
I don't think she's far from there, Stoney. I don't think she's far. I think she's within 5 miles of that hill, but I don't think she's on the hill.
My gut tells me that she is in one of them wells. But look, remember when you went back down when you went down there the first time, and I said, I'm coming down there. Well, let me tell you, we had it set to go. We were on the interstate. Me and my oldest son was on the interstate.
Didn't you have a
We were
stroke or
leaving
something? One of
town.
the times you were supposed to like.
I've had 2 widowmaker heart attacks,
Oh,
and my
okay.
heart rate went through the roof. My blood pressure went to 240 over 210, and I'm like, son, I don't know if this is good. And he's like, then we're not going, because we're going from Chicago to Tennessee. And I just had my heart attack. How you doing?
I'm doing
You had
good.
a heart attack.
Yeah, I did have a heart attack.
Did you get stents?
Yeah, I got a stent in my heart, and yeah, that was
Just one.
just one.
Good for you, bro. Oh well, not good. For
I
you.
don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's good.
I got 3, and then August 17th, 2021, I got 3 stents. I died 3 times, and then February of 2021, August 17th, 2021, and then February of 2022, I had to go back in and get another stent, so I got a total of 4 stents. But
Oh,
I've had
wow.
2 widowmaker.
Let me
I've
ask
had
you this.
2 widowmaker heart attacks.
So yeah, I had my right side was 100% blot, and my left side was 50% blot. And when I went
That's a
out,
widowmaker.
you know what I'm saying, before they shocked my ass back, did you see anything?
Yes, I did, but I haven't talked about it yet.
I didn't see nothing. I didn't see nothing.
I did, and I'm going to tell you, one day I might talk about it. I just ain't really ready to talk about it. I seen Jesus Christ and my Father.
Oh,
They both
wow.
spoke to me. I'll just say that. Yeah, I'll say it, and they didn't move their mouth. It did say a word to me. People call me crazy. I don't care what you say. My dad and Jesus were together in the corner of the operating room, and they had to shock me back. And I woke up to my doctor pushing me and slapping me, saying, "I'm not losing you today."
Yeah, when I woke up,
And
I was, they were wheeling me out, and I seen my daughter, and PJ was the first thing I seen before I even seen the doctors. I woke up, and then I felt like, okay, I had a feeling that it wasn't my time. I kept telling myself that.
yeah, it wasn't your time for sure.
That it wasn't my
Now look,
time.
God's got you here for a reason, just like He does me, bro. And right now, that's what I'm working on. I think I figured out the reason I'm still here, and I believe, I'm a strong believer in God. Everybody can believe in whatever
This
they
to be
want.
my first search back since the heart attack.
That's good, though. You know what? He knew to put you on the right. That might be the reason me and you bumped into each other, because maybe He wanted me to push you toward that.
Maybe, I don't know. I
Maybe
think
He might have
everything.
wanted you. I believe in that.
I think everything happens for a reason, for sure.
Amen, brother. Yep.
You know.
Look, I just want you to be safe. Let me ask you a question, and I know we're taking up time that's irrelevant to what the circumstances, but I don't get to talk to nobody much anymore. Look, so do you have anxiety?
Not as bad as I did before I had the heart attack.
Really? I
Yeah.
had it twice. I have it.
My heart doctor says that my anxiety may have stemmed from me having heart problems.
Yeah, it
I
can.
still have anxiety, but not as bad as I did before the heart attack.
Did you have it? You had it before, though, pretty bad?
Yes, real bad.
I didn't have it before. Now I do. It's like anytime I get in a certain situation, I was in a bar, a friend of mine's bar, when all this went down, when I had my widowmaker, and I literally, if I get in a setting with a lot of people in my face, not like a big room full of people, but I mean like people in my face, and it's kind of weird, you know, that weird feeling of a bar, then my anxiety starts going through the roof. Or if I'm out in the world too much, and it's just, I feel claustrophobic, my anxiety goes up and my blood pressure hits 200.
Yeah, and in the beginning, the doctors were telling me they didn't know if it was my blood pressure that was causing me anxiety, or my anxiety was causing my blood pressure to go up. But my new heart doctor says she believes a lot of that stems from me having heart complications that were not diagnosed, and I was having these problems. And hopefully now with the new medicines, the stent in my heart, that a lot of that
got you on, can I ask?
A whole bunch of shit. I mean, I don't even know the names of it, but blood thinners. They got me on cholesterol medicines.
You on Berlinta?
We can't name medicines here because we're not professional doctors. YouTube's funny about it.
They got me on a bunch of stuff, but it literally, I was allergic to my blood pressure medicine for almost 2.5 years. But they went through everything else that they made me take it anyway. And now I'm not allergic to it anymore. How that works, I have no idea.
Okay.
But that's
Wow.
exactly what happened. So now I'm taking a blood pressure medicine that I've been on for almost 3 years, and I'm not allergic to it no more. Isn't that crazy?
And that's good. I mean, my blood pressure now, my blood pressure now has been better than it's been in at least the last couple of years.
Well, let me tell you, when you 100% blockage, you know that's a widowmaker.
Yeah.
And that's a very dangerous. It's scary. It's the worst heart attack you can have. You don't survive it usually. Well, let me tell you, you know what it's due to? Due to stress. Stress will give you a widowmaker.
I mean, how does stress
You know
block your heart, though? You know what I'm saying? I think that was all them
because your
steaks
body-
and stuff I was
Every
eating.
time you tense up and you get real angry and mad, your blood thickens.
Maybe.
Thicken. And then when you calm down, it thins down. So this is kind of a hard thing to explain. And we're wasting a lot of time on
Okay.
it. Real quick.
All right, Stoney.
Look, real quick, let me just say this. Your heart, if you think about it, you take your fist and you ball it up and then you push it out. So the high part, I think it's the high part, like the 120/80, is like the draw in. And then the push out, like when your heart releases, that's the 80. So that's how your heart pumps the blood. It pulls it in, like the 120, and it pushes out. So if it goes high on either side, it's hard to draw it in, and it's hard to draw it out. That's when you're upset. That's when you're mad or something's going on in your world. They call that stress. And
Yeah.
that's how your body ends up getting.
I've been trying
better.
to avoid all the stress as much as I can anyway.
Don't let nothing bother you no more. That's why, you know what? First sign of anything bothering me, I'm done. Bye. See ya. I ain't got time for it. But man, good to hear you. And yeah, Summer Wells, I'd be so thankful one way or the other. I know it sucks, but one way or the other, just to be on the other side of it. Don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah. I hope that is the case. I hope one day we can
Be
look
safe
back
out
at
there,
that.
bro.
I will.
Be safe out there. Good to see you, man. Good to hear you. I just bounced in. I've been bouncing around a little bit today. So,
All right.
my man, you guys take it easy. Good to see everybody.
All right, Stoney. Appreciate it. Later. All right. I let that run a little long because listen, Stoney is the one that really pushed me into this. I mean, not knowing, he's the one that mentioned it to me. Like I said, it wasn't a true crime channel. I didn't search for missing people like I do now. So Stoney is like the OG godfather of this. And here's one thing Stoney told me. He said, y'all remember Callie Rodney? He told me from day one, he said, she's in the water right off that bank right there. He was the only one that was right. He was absolutely 100% right. Day one, he called up and said, Dolly, that girl is right at the edge of that water in the water. Everybody was searching for her. Y'all remember the Callie Rodney case? And he was one. Then AWP went out there and they got in the water and found her. They should have gave that reward to Stoney Stone. To be dead honest with you, he was the only person I ever heard say it. And he was saying it from day one. She's in the water right off the bank in about 15 feet of water. Right. and if I would have had a boat, I would have went out there and found her. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
It's Harm from Canada.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. I just want to let you know that my YouTube name is AGM88.
Okay. I was seeing you. Thank you for your super chat earlier.
You're very welcome. So I just want to talk about Summer Wells real quick.
Okay.
I believe what your theory is correct.
Oh, about the heat stroke?
Yeah, and how Candace was screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I do believe that because when you see Candace, you just see this grief. And it's not like a missing child, kind of like a panic in her, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like sad she knows she's gone grief.
Yeah, exactly. But my question is, what do you think they did with her?
They couldn't have took her far. Candace wasn't gone off that hill long. You know, I've talked to all the locals out there and people that live behind them, in front of them, and different places. I can't say because they don't want to be told on, but she didn't go far. She wasn't gone long. So that's why I'm saying she's somewhere on Beach Creek.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of keep searching Beach Creek, keep searching that area, any pull offs, any outbuildings, or anything that she could have got to that she may know about that you don't. Like, because you got to remember, they're in that area, they've been in that area for years. They know it like the back of their hand. As a new person coming in there, I don't know the area like they do. Right. So, but I don't think she's far. She didn't leave for long because she got right back to the hill. So, if my theory's right, she's within 10 miles of that house.
Do you think they just kind of like did like a little farewell burial for her? Or
I think they got her the hell up out of there because they knew the police was coming. Now, did they move her? That is the scary thing because they've had so many months, right? And there's been rumors about different things being moved. I think in the beginning, they got her outside of that 5-mile radius. Okay, because everybody knows when you go missing, they search a 5-mile radius. I mean, that's just common knowledge. They did it in Sebastian, they did it in Summer. That's where they start to work, that 5-mile radius. If you get outside that 5 miles, there ain't nobody going to find you.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and I truly believe that it wasn't, the story really didn't even come from Jody Sue Brown, because he listened to Jody Sue Brown. She'll tell you she didn't really even hear the scream, the first scream. Her daughter heard it.
Right.
Because she had young ears, and you hear her kids say they heard it. Now, a lot of people think Jody Sue Brown's just a liar, and I agree. She lies about all kinds of shit, but I think she was, in the beginning, she was being truthful about what she heard, because there was no story yet. There was nothing to become a YouTuber on. Now she's a YouTuber getting super chats, right? So, but in the beginning, I believe what she says. Now I don't believe shit she says, but I still believe there was a scream in the beginning.
Yeah, I believe there was too, because I don't know. It's just the way that Candace's demeanor is. She looks like a grieving mother who knows that her child is gone.
Yeah, and when you talk to them, they talk to you like she's gone.
Yeah.
You know, I sat there with them, and they were showing me pictures. They never talked about Summer like she was being kidnapped or she was going to be found. They talked to her about like she's in heaven. And one day they'll see her in heaven. And that's how I don't know if they use that as a coping mechanism, but I take it as she's gone.
Yeah, I take it as a confession.
And I don't think, and believe it or not, I think they're the most dysfunctional family, but I do truly believe that they love Summer.
I do too. Yeah, that's why you can see such grief in them,
Mm-hmm.
Yep, for sure.
The grief is real.
Dolly, for sure. You can definitely see it. You see it in every single interview. She just looks like she's just got a big hole in her.
She looks defeated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And I feel really bad for her a lot. I can only imagine what she's going through, and then having to keep it all bottled up and not tell anybody. Oh, good grief.
And then you can't forget it because people keep bringing it back up. So it's always fresh in her mind, and she has to live with it. So, all right. Well, look, I appreciate you calling in.
All right, Dolly, you take care.
All right. Good night. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, I see the grief. Just like the caller says, and here's the thing. Candace ain't heartless. Leilani, heartless. Candace, she's not heartless. I've sat there with Candace, seen her laugh, seen her cry. She let me touch the mullet. Dolly.
Oh, hey, Dolly. This is Jody from Winchester.
Hey, Jody.
Hey, I have a theory
Let's
on
hear
why.
it. I said,
okay.
let's hear it. On who? Is Summer or Sebastian?
Sebastian.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, I think Katie and Chris and Seth were trying to work on getting Sebastian over to Seth.
Uh-huh.
But there's so much animosity between Katie and Seth that I think she would rather have him dead than going to Seth. That's my
maybe, but why was she willing to work with Seth in the beginning? Because Seth was going to her house, staying there, like hanging out, and they were talking and searching together. And Katie didn't want that GoFundMe made, and then Seth did, and then that's what caused their beef. But if she just had that much animosity towards him, why would she have let him in the first 3 days?
Okay, I don't know.
That
so
kind of,
maybe my theory is wrong.
I ain't saying your theory's wrong. We got to bring that into question because
I mean, maybe I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, they were working together, and Chris and Seth were going around searching homeless encampments in the first 3 days.
Are you sure they were working together?
Positive. I'm absolutely positive they were working together. And the reason there's a riff is because they sat down and Katie didn't want no GoFundMe's, because you ever notice that Katie and Chris never had a GoFundMe? They didn't want it. They said that people would think that they did this for money, and they didn't want people thinking that. And then Seth's sister started that GoFundMe. And we've even heard Chris say, well, I got to get up for fucking work. I don't have a GoFundMe. So they resent him for the fact that he started that GoFundMe.
Oh, well, okay. I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, he was out of work, and I think Seth really needed that money. The same thing I told Seth. I was like, man, I think you really need that. If you're going to be the one out there searching and you can't go to work, you got to put gas in your truck. You still have to pay your bills. You have to do these things.
Yeah.
So
okay. Well,
let your squirrels kick that around for a little bit and see what else they come up with.
Okay.
All right.
Poor Summer Wells. I don't think she's ever going to be found.
She ain't if everybody gives up. It's just don't give up. You know what I'm saying? We can't give up.
No, but there's a case in Oklahoma. Do you remember Laurel Bible?
No. If it's over 3 years old, I don't know nothing about it.
They've been looking for 2 girls from 1999 in all the caverns and wells and
see, I got into true crime 3 years ago because of Stony Stone, the caller that called earlier. But I mean, I followed true crime, but just not every case. I followed the Delphi case for the last 7 years. You know, of course, some on the John Benet Ramsey stuff, OJ, the Menendez brothers, the West Memphis 3. But I didn't have a true crime channel, so I didn't get into every missing kid. Mostly the high profile stuff I knew about.
This is what got me into true crime. I'll send you some information. You look at it. I think you will be interested.
Okay, go ahead. You can shoot it to this number or my Facebook. Either one will work great.
Okay.
All right. You have a great night.
Well, you have a good night.
Happy holidays. Bye-bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah, so you got to remember, guys, there may be some cases that, I'm unaware of because, I haven't been in the game that long, right? But far as true crime itself, interested in, things like this, of course, I watched it on TV, true crime shows. And then over the last 3 years, I have just totally immersed myself in the true crime. There ain't much that goes on now in the last 3 years that I don't know about. So I try to keep up as much as I can from Dylan Rounds to Avril Hooks to Summer Wells to Callie Rodney to Riley Strain, Caleb Harris, just the list goes. Audrey Cunningham. There's just so many people. Even just the other day, Waylon. Okay, Waylon Childs, the little young boy with autism that they just pulled out in the lake. So I try to keep up with as much of it as I can now. Of course, Michael Monkey Vaughn in Fruitland, Idaho. And, like I said, a lot of these cases I've been to, I think when I speak on most of the stuff, it's because I speak from being there. I think that's the best way if you're going to cover a case and bring people information is you need to be there firsthand. You need to see it. You need to know what's going on. You need to talk to the locals. You need to do all these things to have an understanding of it. And like I said, I've been down to Nashville, to Hendersonville a few times now, searching, looking. Same thing with Hawkins County. I've been in that place more than I even want to be. It really ain't much there unless you like shopping at the Dollar General, okay, and Walmart. I mean, there's a couple of those there, but it's a lot of these people go missing in the middle of damn nowhere. All right. And you just got to keep them prayers alive. I know statistically these kids are gone, right? If we're looking at statistics are going to say these kids are no longer with us, but I like to try to keep that hope alive, and that they are out there. But just like I was telling Stoney on the phone, when I walk up into these woods, I'm not looking for a kid to jump out from behind a tree and go, here I am. I don't think I'm going to find Summer Wells like that. And I truly don't think I'm going to find Sebastian Rogers like that. I'm not even really looking for a kid that's alive. I'm looking for bones. I'm looking for remains. I'm looking for articles of clothing of something that may be theirs. I'm looking for small bones, scattered bones. I'm not even looking for a skeleton remains, because if you've been out in the woods that long, animals are going to scatter your bones. So I'm basically looking for a bone that ain't animal bone. Okay, because trust me, I've been out in these woods and I found plenty of animal bones. You can tell the difference usually in animal bones and a human bone. And it's sad to say that, right? Because really, I'm on a recovery mission. It just is what it is. Now, do I sleuth and look for clues and maybe find something where they're alive? Yeah, I do that too. But when I'm out searching, let's be honest, 9 months in and you searching in the woods, you're not searching for a kid that's alive. It's sad. That's the one bad thing about true crime. It's heartbreaking. It's one of those things that there's very rarely good news in true crime. Very rarely. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly, what's up?
What's up? Who's this? Where you calling from?
Oh, it's Andrew.
Andrew Hiltz.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Hiltz? My number one suspect in the disappearance.
I'm not that good.
Yeah, you might not be. You are pretty dumb. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. How have you been, Andrew Hiltz?
Family thing, staying off of YouTube, staying out of trouble.
If you're staying off YouTube, probably a good thing for you.
Well, family comes first.
Okay. So what do you think, man? Who did it?
I don't know who did it, but
I think you know.
If you can find something that somebody overmissed, it might just bring the killer to light.
Yeah, if there's a killer.
Well, if they're just saying, by this point, I have to agree it's nothing but bones in the middle of somewhere.
Yeah. Do you really think there's a killer of Summer Wells? I mean, in your honest opinion, do you really think somebody killed Summer Wells?
I think it's too much of a coincidence that the aunt went missing the same way Summer did, and they still ain't found nothing.
I mean, that is a crazy coincidence. Usually you don't have two people come up missing in a family in the same
exactly
under the same circumstances that just vanish. I agree with you on that. But do you think you think that what was Candace's sister's name? I done forgot now. Rose, that's right. So you think they did something to Rose? Candace and Grandis did something to Rose?
I think my fingers are on Grandis.
Grandis, you think Grandis is the culprit? Grandis did leave right after Summer came up missing.
Yeah, and she also did leave right after Rose came up missing too.
I didn't know she left during the Rose situation, but I do know she left during the Summer situation because she said she knew what was coming because of the Rose situation, so she packed her shit and left.
No, I think Grandis completely had something to do with Rose going missing.
Well, a lot of people push the blame onto what was her husband at the time because of the kids.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were having marital issues at the time, so you know how all that looks.
So you look at this case like it may be more to foul play than I do.
Mm-hmm.
But why? Here's the thing. If Candace was there, would she let Grandis hurt Summer? You know Candace better than I know her.
Not really. I know just about as much as everybody else does.
I just don't know. I mean, I have never really sat and thought Grandis. Maybe I'm overlooking it.
Well, Candace wasn't around when Candace wasn't anywhere close to Rose when she went missing. But Grandis was close. And then Grandis disappeared shortly after Rose went missing. And then now Grandis is around Summer, and then Summer goes missing, and she dips out yet again. it, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck.
I mean, that is pretty suspicious, And you ever remember there was like a clip of Candace saying something about Rose was under the driveway?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not too sure how much of that we can trust. What makes us think that Candace didn't already know about what happened with Rose?
I mean, Candace may have known. That's what I'm saying. I think Candace did know what happened to Rose.
But like I said, I don't know. But my finger for some reason I'm stuck on Grandis.
Okay, so you think they found her? How far you think she's from that hill, or do you think she's on that hill?
I don't think she's on the hill at all.
I don't think she's on the hill either. I've had that vibe too. When they let me up there, I kind of was like, she's not on this hill. They wouldn't have just let me up here like this.
No.
Huh. Okay. How's the rest of the fam doing? Everybody doing good?
Yeah, kids are kids. Old lady's working. I'm rearranging.
How's your son doing?
He's a pain. He's doing all right. He's working overtime at his new job.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear that he's working and doing all right. Is he growing up any?
Well, he might want
to. Okay. Well, he got
He's 18. No, he's 18. Whatever he does falls on him now.
I got you.
I mean, it sounds bad, but
he just got one.
law,
He just got one kid, right? Did he have a kid, or was that all bullshit?
That was all bullshit last year.
He didn't even have a kid.
No, his girlfriend's brother had a kid.
Hey, that's your boy there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say nothing bad about
his mama raised him.
His mama raised him. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay, Andrew. Damn. I don't hold you responsible. I know that's your boy.
Well, I can only do so much. The boy, he doesn't want to listen. He wants to go off and live life the way he wants. So I'm just gonna be like, all right, dude, do you just be careful and don't get arrested.
Do you think he knows anything?
No.
You don't?
No, that boy, not for nothing. I love him to death, but
let me ask you this
smart enough
question.
to hold a secret this long.
And I asked you this many a times. Was he banging Candace?
It looked like that on paper, but I don't really believe he was.
Okay.
I don't think he'd still be with the same girl that he was with back then.
You about to be a granddaddy with a mullet.
Yeah, screw that.
Would you have loved your grandbaby with a mullet?
Nah, if I had to.
I can see you now brushing that mullet, Andrew. I can see you now doing it.
No, buddy, no. If I have any grandkids before I'm 40, I might as well just take a long dirt nap myself.
Okay. Well, look, man, it was good talking to you. I'm not going to be here much longer, but happy holidays to you, and I hope you and your family have a good one. Until next time,
you too.
Take care of yourself, bro.
You too. Later, brother.
All right, peace. Can y'all just imagine their Panda and Andrew right there brushing the mullet of his grandbaby, little Candy? I like picking on Andrew. I like picking on that dude. I don't know why. He's the suspect. That Dolly.
I knew she wasn't pregnant. I told you when I saw that picture she wasn't pregnant.
Who? Maddie Soto?
No, shoot. The boy's girlfriend, Andrew's son.
Oh, Andrew, yeah. Like I don't know. We got hustled.
Hunter.
He hustled everybody, didn't he?
No, I told you she wasn't pregnant. If you'll remember, she wasn't big enough. She was not pregnant.
I know he turned his mama's death into a circus.
Remember, I'm the one that said I want to see the pea stick.
You want to see the pea stick? Old Hunter, right? For anybody that's just tuning in that don't know, the guy that just called is Andrew Hiltz. He is the father of Hunter, which was the young boy that was with Candace that day. Okay, so that's who I was just talking to is his father, Andrew Hiltz. I was just telling that for the chat, just in case they have no clue to who Andrew is.
I knew that heifer wasn't pregnant.
They were supposed to have twins, remember?
I remember. I knew she wasn't pregnant. That just pisses me off.
And we raised money for him, and he went out and he bought like a pistol.
you know, he'll wind up behind bars if he's not
Well, his
careful.
daddy said he's growing up a little bit. He's 18. He's working. I hope he gets his life together. I don't wish bad on the kid. You
Well,
know,
I hope he does too, but it's on him.
his hustle game is strong for a young man. It's that, he's a little street kid. He carries himself like that. Well, now he's a man, but it's almost like we watched him grow up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that wasn't cool. And he was banging Candace too.
He was banging Candace granny.
Yes, he was.
I mean, that's what Jose said, and they were hanging out alone, and she was buying them drinks and smokes, and
Candace would bang him, and he was at that age he would have banged anybody that stood still long enough for him to do it. So,
possibly, I don't think he would ever confess to it, that he was.
He's not going to confess to it. And like I think he knows a lot more about Summer than what he's telling. But
That's why I always asked Andrew. I know he ain't going to tell me, even if he knew. It's his son. He's going to protect. He's going to protect his son no matter what. And I don't blame him for that. It's his father. You know what I'm saying?
Andrew, he talks out of his ass.
I know. I just, it is what it is. I've been dealing with Andrew now for 3 years. It's almost like, I don't know. He's almost like I know him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if I could slap Andrew a few times, I would like him or could tolerate him.
He probably deserves a good slap or two.
He does.
To be honest, so.
I'm sure he's done something we probably don't know about, but
yeah, he's got away with a few crimes. You can look at him and tell. You know what I'm saying? He deserves a little bit of karma for something he's done in his past.
Yeah, but I believe that Sebastian, I believe he'll be found this winter. I really do.
Well,
his bones are out there somewhere, and they're not far.
That's part of my thing is once this time of year before it's freezing cold and it's not too hot, this is the best time to be out there searching because the trees are not overgrown, things are dying off, and you can actually see a little bit.
Some deer hunter will come across them.
Oh yeah, hikers, something. He's out there somewhere. Somebody holds the answers to this, and it's just a matter of unraveling it like a piece of candy, like this wrapper in my hand. It's just a matter of unraveling it. It's balled up really small, and it just has to be unraveled, and then all the answers will come, right?
And as far as Summer, I don't know if we'll ever know. And
I don't say that because I was telling people today when I find Summer, we're retiring. I'm retiring from true crime. Summer started this, and I'm ending with Summer. So when she's found, I'm moving it. I'm starting a sports channel.
I have prayed for that child, for her to be found. Just to get an absolute from it. To like Stoney said, to put an end to it.
Yeah. Get it behind us.
Get it behind us. But I'm starting to believe we're not ever going to really know. And that's what hurts.
We need you hopeful, Granny. Yeah, usually the words of wisdom here. You're not being too you're not positive right now.
I'm just
I know you're just speaking the truth, Granny. You always do.
But I want to know if any of the chat's getting a commercial about shaving your balls.
I don't know. Maybe. Is it like a Manscaped commercial?
It's like a Manscaped commercial, and they got two little balloons with water in them, and they got that razor on there just to going up and down on them.
Okay, yeah, that's a Manscaped commercial, I guess.
Well, why the hell am I getting them? They're not getting them in the...
You got big balls, Granny?
Well, it says, hair balls, man ball hair. I'm like, good God.
Well,
I was just wondering. So you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen the Manscaped commercials before.
Okay, so I'm not crazy.
No, you're not crazy.
All right, but you watch.
I used to be sponsored by them back in the day.
Oh.
So
you watch Top Notch.
I will, Granny.
PJ, I shot PJ an email. I found something very interesting that I wanted her to look at.
Okay. She's asleep right now, hopefully.
Yeah, let her sleep. But I love you. You watch Top Notch.
All right.
I'll talk to you later.
All right. Peace. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna let PJ sleep. She was a little grumpy today. She was tired, and she didn't get much sleep last night. So I guess I was keeping her up or something. I don't know. I did get stabbed, so it must not have been too bad. All right, must not have been too bad. So, like I was saying, I got to get ready to get out of here, guys. But just know that I'm packing up tonight. When I get off here, I'm starting to pack my stuff up. I got to get my clothes out in the dryer, fold them up, put them in the suitcases. I will see you guys in Georgia. I might be here live for a little bit in the morning. I don't quite know. I don't know exactly what time we're pulling out. Maybe about noon. So I may be here a little bit in the morning, but then I'll be in Georgia tomorrow night. Well, technically tonight because it's 1 a.m. So by this time tomorrow, I'll be in Georgia. Thursday, I will be at Leilani Simon's trial, and I will be broadcasting early that morning from outside the court. Once they sentence her, I'll be broadcasting again outside the court to let you guys know what happened. I'm sure it is going to be shown live, and I might stream it because I will have my laptop with me. So I'll set up a stream, go in the courtroom, wave by to Leilani, and be like, I'm gonna mouth to her, "I told you so." Right? That's what she's gonna get from me. So when she looks around, she's definitely gonna know who Dolly is, right? Because me and Leilani's done had some conversations, but it's gonna be, I told you so. I told you so. All right. I'm going a long way to deliver that message. It's a good 8-hour ride. So, but it's going to be, I told you so. And because she told me she wasn't going to prison. I said, Leilani, I'll write you in prison. She said, no, you won't. I ain't going to prison. It looks like you were wrong, Leilani. And Dolly was right. You were definitely going to prison. And hopefully BJ don't try to attack me. Okay. If I can avoid that crazy biker woman, ain't nothing worse than getting beat up by a crazy biker woman in Georgia. Oh my God. It would make for a viral video though. Tell me that wouldn't go viral. If BJ kicks my ass, oh, that shit would go so viral. I get 1 million views easy. Okay. Hands down, 1 million views, 100,000 subs. All I had to do is let that lady whip my ass one good time. That shit would be on every true crime clip channel. Real quick call. Dolly.
Hello, Dolly.
Hey.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself? Who's this? Where are you calling from?
My name is Justine, and I live in Linden, Pennsylvania.
Okay. What's going on, Justine?
Well, I was just wondering, I know you know a lot about true crime and stuff. Has anybody ever found the answers for that little boy that was missing on the camping trip?
On the camp?
Yeah, his name was Orlin.
So his name was what?
Orin. Orin, I believe.
I'm not for sure. How long ago was this?
Probably about 5 years ago by now.
Yeah, probably right before my true crime time.
Around the same time as Summer Wells. Like maybe a year before Summer. Their parents were together on a camping trip, and his parents went up to the dam without him. They left him with his grandfather and a friend of theirs.
Uh-huh. I'm not sure.
Orin. Yeah, Orin or Owen, maybe.
Are you talking about the
2-year-old?
I don't know. The only Orin I know is the Cow City Boys. Wasn't one of their names Orin and Olsen? Orin and Olsen. I'm not for sure. To be honest with you, I can look into it and let you know tomorrow.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking is because they say they searched every inch of where he went missing at. There's only one road in and one road out of the camping grounds and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And they've had people all over with dirt bikes and stuff.
Was that the kid that was riding his bike and he got like halfway around the circle, and then when they were waiting for him to come back around the circle, he was gone?
No.
Okay.
No, this is on a camping ground.
Okay. There's a couple kids that went missing at a campground, so I don't know, to be honest, 100.
I think it may have been up in Utah where he went missing at.
Uh-huh.
And they said they searched every square inch, but there was a the way it was set up, there was an outhouse for public use on the property.
Yeah,
And then there
I'll
was-
look into it tomorrow when I get a chance.
Okay.
Yeah, and y'all right, that was a girl on the bike. But hey, I appreciate you calling in. I gotta get ready to get out of here. You be good. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you. You have the same.
All right, peace. Yeah, I don't like if it was before 3 years ago, and it ain't really high profile, I wouldn't know about it. Okay. Like I said, I got into this during the Gabby Petito days, Summer Wells, but I do go back as far as Delphi, John Benet Ramsey, the kids in the West Memphis 3. It would just have to be high profile and on TV, because most of my true crime I used to get from TV, not YouTube. Right now it's kind of YouTube for true crime. But when I was younger, you wanted true crime, you watched it on TV, America's Most Wanted, Cops, Unsolved Mysteries, and things like that. So I will try to touch up on what she was talking about and look it up, because I think she gave me enough details that I can find it. But anyway, guys, I got a lot of stuff to get done before I crash out here in about an hour. So I can be, I got to do a little bit of driving tomorrow. Me and PJ take turns. So I will see you guys probably tomorrow morning. If not, I will hit y'all up live when I get to Savannah. Holler Boys Creeker, one more round. No, okay, 2002-year-old junior disappeared from a campground in Lehman County, Idaho, and no trace of him has ever been found. Okay, thank you, Holler Boy Creeker. Okay. Some of the Creekers are into true crime. I did see your boy Upchurch got the Creeker tattoo on his neck. Okay. Upchurch, awesome dude, right? He hasn't been in here in a while, right? Usually church will pop in every 6-7 months or something. He's been busy fighting with all the other country rappers right now, I guess. But if you see Church, tell him Dolly said stay cool. That's a cool dude, man. I like Church. But anyway, guys, remember this. Drop some comments. Let me know what y'all think happened to Summer and Sebastian. And also, if you know any areas you think should be searched in Hawkins County or Hendersonville, leave them. Don't leave them in a comment, but you see this number up here? It's on all my videos. Text that number, the information. Okay. So if you got any clues of areas of interest that you think, hey, Dolly, you should probably check here, especially for my locals in Hendersonville and Hawkins County, Rogersville, definitely hit the 757. You can text that number. All right. Or you can leave a message at that number. And any help is greatly appreciated. Now, if you have some information on the kid itself, call 1-800-TBI-FIND first. Okay. Call them first, let them know. And then after you do that, hit that number, let me know, because I will be down that way. And remember this, if nobody else loves you, Dolly does. All right. So you guys be good. And also don't forget to check out some Dolly soap. It keeps me alive, and it is the best product in the whole wide living world, okay? Welcome to the wonderful world of Dolly's Luxurious Lather Bars. Some of the best soap in the world, and it comes in some of your favorite scents. Why have ordinary when you can have extraordinary? It's like driving a brand new Lambo down the street instead of an 81 Buick. Made from all natural ingredients, no harsh chemicals, this soap will leave you as smooth as a pimp with a limp. Check it out now at buydollysoap.com. And also, you can save 10% when you use the promo code Wash Your Flaps. Smooth as a pimp with a limp. All right. Almost as smooth as Dolly. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.